Welcome back, guys. JE Live following a Rams W, a Rams victory. They kick off the season in great fashion, 34-14 over the Chicago Bears. We're going to get into it. I'm going to answer questions. First, I'm going to give my thoughts, just kind of looking at this game. And, obviously I want to go into it in detail, when the film comes out, whenever that All-22 decides to drop, it's really up for, NFL and all of that. Then that's what we'll do. But, all right, let's get into it, right? We got a giveaway at the end of this thing, or probably in the middle, because I don't know when the end will be, but we'll get to the giveaway, okay? So, let's discuss this. Matthew Stafford. This is not going to be a I told you so type of deal. But I just want to give a shout out to everyone out there that listened to me or that had your own opinions, that watched Matthew Stafford on more than Thanksgiving and knew he was capable of this. Wasn't a shock. You knew it. Shout out to you. Those are the people I want to shout out right now. Anybody that truly believed in Matthew Stafford, to me, in my opinion, this is somebody that was always capable of this. And to be honest with you, to look at this game, 20 of 26, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, pretty much what I predicted, 156.1 passer rating. Think about this. This is his first game. People could talk about who they went up against. The Bears defense did as much as they could. They sold out to stop the run. And you saw when Matthew Stafford made him pay over the top, then the light box that we've been talking about on here came to fruition. Things opened up. The offense, they were able to run the football. Everyone was panicking about Darrell Henderson ends up running for 4.4 yards per carry, which he averaged last season. 16 carries for 70 yards, a touchdown. And this is the thing. It's complementary. Everything is connected to Stafford's deep ball. Everything's connected to Stafford's accuracy. As Chris Collinsworth mentioned on the broadcast, he is nowhere near learned this offense. He is not used to running this bootleg. He isn't comfortable with it yet. And look at what he did tonight. I mean, Khalil Mack's pretty damn good. Akeem Hicks, Roquan Smith, Eddie Jackson. It's not that they don't have players on their team. This team has a good defense. They have good players, and they were doing a damn good job at stopping the run. It's just Matthew Stafford can execute, man. And we saw that. But you know what else we saw? We saw Cooper Kupp. We saw Robert Woods. We saw Van Jefferson. And most importantly, because we already knew those three. All right, maybe Van Jefferson more or less. Tyler Higbee. Is it Higbee season? Because I think it might be. And I understand we've fallen for this before. He had 3 touchdowns against the Eagles. Yada, yada, yada. But hear me out when I say Higbee, 5 catches, 68 yards on 6 targets. He looked comfortable, man. He looked like he did in Philly when he had that 3 touchdown performance. He looked like he did at the end of the 2019 season. That Higbee existed last year because last year was Philly. What happened? He got hurt, but he came back. Jared Goff had no longer wanted to take that shot. The throws that Stafford was making in this game, Goff did not want to take. So when the light boxes came in, they weren't stacking the box up front. They weren't throwing men at the wall to, basically stifle the running game. When that happened, that was because Stafford made that happen, like we were talking about. And unfortunately for Jared Goff last year, he didn't. So it made it a lot worse, a lot harder on the running backs. This is a great win for the Rams. Make no mistake about it. I'm not really worried about their run defense, and here's why. I'm going to explain this to you. Very simple. You can look up the team stats if you don't believe me. The Rams outplayed Chicago but the time of possession, the Rams were dominated in. Chicago had 35 minutes and 14 seconds of time possession to the Rams 24-46. Sean McVay loves time of possession. Sean McVay craves it. But you know what else Sean McVay loves? Airing out the football, which he hasn't been able to do in the last 2 seasons. So we were seeing that. And so because we were seeing that, and because it was succeeding, and it's the first time a quarterback in his debut with a new team, first game of the season, since 1968, in his debut had 2 50-plus yard passes completed. First time since 1968, they brought it up on the broadcast. What that did, as great as that was, it allowed the Bears to control the clock. So therefore, the defense was constantly on the field. It's great, but remember, if you guys have been following me back when the Rams played in the playoffs against the Falcons, what did I say? I said this team scores too quickly because Farrell Cooper would put them at the 30-yard line, and then they'd get an explosive play, and they'd score too quickly, and the defense would get rattled out. And guess what happened against the Falcons in that playoffs in 2017? They got rattled because they were out for so long. They got tired. They got worn down by Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. In this game, they got worn down by David Montgomery because they were on the field so long. So if you're worried about the run defense, that's my argument, is that this team had their defense on the field the majority of the game. And another thing, furthermore, because of how explosive the Rams were on those plays, the Rams couldn't really get into a rhythm. And you saw that at the end of the game where they started getting in this rhythm. You know, Hendo breaking off 8 to 10-yard runs. You had the nice throw to Higbee. You had the nice throw to Kupp. I mean, that stuff wasn't able to get done because they started off the game so explosively. It just threw the defense back on the field. And I got to give Andy Dalton some credit. Because within structure, the game plan, and I said this to, my folks I was watching it with, this is going to be the same thing we saw in 2018. John Gruden, the Raiders, they set out to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible and neutralize Aaron Donald in the pass rush. Andy Dalton and company did that. Dalton really, honestly, didn't do all that bad. He had a tipped pass, and obviously that sucks for him. That turned into an interception, and obviously the stats aren't great. But 27 to 38, 206 yards. I mean, for what they asked him to do, he only took 3 sacks, and most of those were at the end of the game. You get, 6.8 yards per carry average out of David Montgomery, but that all came down to the fact that, again, the defense was on the field the majority of the game. I mean, once all of a sudden, notice when the Rams were able to sustain the drive instead of throwing a bomb and coming back out and 3 and out. Notice all of a sudden they cracked the armor and they were able to run against the Bears defense. It's a chess match. This is how things work. Shout out to Justin Hollins today. He's such a good story because he actually. He was with the Broncos last year, thinking, wow, that's a bummer. I got cut. They asked him to switch to inside linebacker. He didn't work at inside linebacker. He gets cut. And then the Rams claim him as, an interesting piece that maybe they could develop. And here he is starting a year later. And I just thought it was so cool to see him in action, of course. Hollins had 8 tackles, 6 solo. He had 2 sacks tonight. He had a forced fumble, a tackle for a loss, and a quarterback hit. He was Johnny on the spot. He definitely came to play today, so to speak. David Long with the nice interception, had a couple nice plays. I think he's going to be fine. It sounded like it was just cramps. Shout out to Robert Rochelle, the rookie. Rochelle comes in here, replaces David Long because of the cramps, and comes in and has a huge play in coverage on 4th and long. So that was a big thing there. Another guy that stood out to me was Kenny Young. Kenny Young looks a lot better this year. Kenny Young looks explosive, confident, and he's got pop behind his pads, and you saw that. I thought Kenny Young showed you there's a reason why he's starting. They went a lot of 5-1, where it was just really him at linebacker. You had, of course, Jalen Ramsey playing that star role where, he's basically flying everywhere. Jalen Ramsey stole the show, in my opinion, though, because anytime he was anywhere near the football, he was making a play. So, I mean, that's pretty much what Ramsey is. It's impressive, really, what they've been able to do with him, what they've been able to do with Hollins, Kenny Young, the development there. I thought you saw some good things out of course, Leonard Floyd. Greg Gaines had a really nice pressure that, could have gone any other way. As far as sack, he absolutely roasted the guy that he was, was guarding him. Saw some Jonah Williams in there, Michael Hoyt. Justin Lawler had a nice pressure. So, I think, to me, here's the thing, okay? The Rams defense is going to only get better. Tonight was their first stab at it. All of these guys have been benched for the whole preseason, and it's a new defensive coordinator. So that means he has new tendencies. While he wants to use a similar scheme as what Brandon Staley was doing and implement his own little things in there, he also is a different coordinator. He approaches things differently. Coordinators tend to change. Do they make subtle adjustments or do they make aggressive adjustments? Are they a second half type of coordinator? Are they a consistent coordinator? Do they have their highs and their lows? That's the thing. And so we're going to get to know Raheem Morris as the season goes on, but I don't think the defense was particularly bad at all. Obviously, you don't want to give up over 100 yards on the ground. They gave up 322 yards in total offense. They gave up 24 first downs. Those were annoying, but that is exactly what happens when you're playing the style they are. They weren't up in the guy's grill. They were playing some soft zone, and then, of course, collapsing inward and making it really hard on the quarterback. I mean, you had Taylor Rapp almost got to the quarterback earlier in the game. Just a great blitz pickup by Jason Peters, who I hope is okay, by the way. He got hurt. But Rapp is somebody that I definitely could see him emerging this year. Was impressed with him. I thought he looked good off the ball. Not Floyd. I thought Fuller looked all right. I wasn't too impressed with Fuller. I was a little bummed to not see Burgess at all. I don't know if you guys were as shocked as I was. To not see Terrell Burgess at all was a little bit of a shock to me. But that is pretty much what I'll say in that regard. I think the Rams, you have to feel really good if you're a Rams fan. 34-14. I had 38-10. I had Stafford throwing 320-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Look, Stafford could have thrown that interception, but you know what? Every single game, there are interceptions that are dropped, and he just got lucky that one was dropped because he had a fantastic game, and I think it's only going to get better. Keep in mind, guys, he's only going to learn the offense more and more and more. And plus, this is Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, Robert Woods, Deshaun Jackson, Darrell Henderson. Those are the guys that caught passes today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We saw in the Denver game earlier, if you were on my stream, Teddy Bridgewater had basically spread the ball all over the field. And early in the second quarter, he had thrown to 9 different guys. What this tells me is that the offense is nowhere near complete. It is a project, but it's a working project. It's a work in progress. And while Stafford's made a lot of progress, they're not ready to implement guys like Munt. They're not ready to implement guys like Bryson Hopkins and Jacob Harris and Ben Skoranek, who, of course, was a healthy scratch. Well, he's actually injured. He has a forearm injury, so never mind that. But Tutu Atwell, So because of that, I think this is going to expand. This offense is only going to get more creative. You saw that pretty awesome run by Robert Woods. He actually took it out of the backfield. Love to see that. I feel like Woods should definitely be used in the backfield more. You saw Sony Michel get his first carry as a Ram, went for 2 yards. They're just trying to get him in the flow of things. He wasn't really going to be much of an impact player today, and I said, 10 to 12 touches. That was even really high for that. So basically, as the season goes on, we're going to see it more and more and more. And you know what? I can tell you this. They're going to be ready for Tampa, man. They're going to. If you're going to sit here and look at the Rams and Bears and say, well, the Rams did this against the Bears, but then turn around and tell me that, well, Tampa, they beat Dallas. I mean, they got outplayed by Dallas. You could argue that, you know, Dallas should have won that game. So I think they're pretty much on the same spot. You look at the Packers, who I thought would be in that spot. You don't want to overreact too much to, week 1. But the Rams were already a good team going into this season. They were a good team last year. You're talking about a divisional round team that lost their star player. He played, but he was like 30% healthy and barely played the game, and played with a 9-fingered quarterback. That isn't even their quarterback anymore. He's not as good as the one they have now. So to me, I just think the Rams got better this year, and I'm very high on them. And this is how I felt. I felt like, Sean McVay, well, I would have liked to see more of a balanced approach, and I think we'll see that. I think he just got pass happy, man. It's hard to hate on that when, he's been held back. He hasn't been able to call those plays. Stafford being able to just let it rip like that, I mean, it really just equalizes any game. It keeps the Rams in every game virtually, because now they have a deep ball that is a total equalizer. Stafford is 2 for 2 on those deep bombs over the top. I'm not talking in coverage, like the ones like over the top. The ones that like Goff would overthrow or underthrow. Like he hit them dead on. So I'm really excited for that. Plus you got some great experience for Van Jefferson, who some people will still say is not a deep threat, but this is why I've been saying he's a deep threat. So that's about 20 minutes of me rambling on about my thoughts on the game. And yeah, I'm gonna try to answer your questions, but there's a lot, so I didn't even know how I'm gonna answer all of them, to be honest with you. So man, there's a lot. I love it. And I didn't even look, and we have over 180 viewers on YouTube. I'm going to bring up Facebook. And what we're going to do, let's see here. So we got Facebook opened. I just want to make sure I'm seeing all the comments. Apparently Cooper Kupp was out there to catch a punt because he was just gonna fair catch it. There wasn't a way to really advance it in that spot on the field. So that's why they didn't bother adding anybody else to the mix. All right. Yes, the deep pass is back, Bob. What's going on, Jake? Awesome game tonight. I saw this coming. Going to be a great season for the offense and defense. Gave up rushing yards, but still great effort. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm not too worried about the rushing. I mean, run defense, it's early on the season. I think it's only going to get better. So, and plus, like I said, I think it comes down to time possession. That's really what it comes down to. I have over 100 and however many in here. If everyone could just do me a favor and hit the like, thumbs up. Would really appreciate it. It helps push this out. It helps get more viewers and more interactions. So just that subtle thumbs up makes all the difference. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to bring up. We're going to do the giveaway. PS5. So 1 second. So for those of you that have entered, I have the auto thing right here. And I don't know if the person that wins will be in there, but it's on. There's video evidence of it. And I will be reaching out to whoever wins. So even if you're not in here, no worries. All right. Here it goes. Okay, as soon as it loads. Damn. I understand there was a lot of people, so that's probably why. Yeah, that was a great win for the Rams. Oh, boy. Well, it's taking longer than I thought it would. McVay season opener streak continues. Yeah, 5-0. All right. So, all right. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think the person that won the PS5, I think, is actually in this stream right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Scoot, where you at? You're our winner. Right here. Let's see. I wonder if Scoot is in here. Recount. Oh, man. Congrats, Scoot. I now identify as Scoot. All right, well, I will be in touch with you. If he's not in here, I'll hit him up, so it's all good with that. And I'll get to answering your questions. Who is Niners for Life? That's not Scoot, is it? I still don't remember who. Is it Ben? I literally don't remember. Why did you change your name to that? Scoot by Nolan. Nice, Nolan. Okay, you are Ben. Okay. Damn, there's so much going on. All right. Yeah, I just got a hold of him. He just gave me the eye emoji. All right, so give me your questions. Let's do this thing. I don't know what version it is, to be honest with you. I got it on DHgate. It's Jacob Harris. Scott B, you won the PS5. Yeah, you won the PS5. I'm not kidding you. I just did the randomizer, and Scoot came up on, well, it was your handle, but I know that your Scoot is Scott, so you're good. But yeah, congratulations, my guy. We'll be doing other giveaways, guys. The next giveaway I'm gonna do, and we have a lot of people in here, so I just want to make a point to point out that we're gonna... We have a Discord here. Click that link. It is absolutely free to join. It is a 24/7 community channel for this channel in general, and also Downtown Rams. So Rams fans, welcome. Anyone's welcome. You like horror movies like I do, you're welcome. If you like the MCU, if you like the NFL draft, any other sports, music, whatever, you are welcome. Anyone is welcome to that. Costs $0 and 0 cents to sign up. So make sure you sign up. We'll be doing giveaways over there. We're going to do more giveaways on the stream, on the channel. So, Scott, I'll be in touch as far as the details on that. Get your address and all of that. But yeah, we're going to have all that. You're very welcome. I'm happy for you. I know it's been a long time coming. I had to postpone it because we got like no participation initially, and then I got a ton, to the point where my computer almost froze during this stream while trying to randomize the thing. So, Akeem Ayers, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. All right, guys, what questions you got for me? What do you think? Anything you want to touch on? I'm not concerned about the defense in the slightest. I do think it was a time of possession thing. I also think Montgomery's a hell of a running back too, so I got to give him props, but I'm not concerned. I want Aaron Donald to take off those gloves, man. Those gloves be slippery. He should have had like 4 sacks. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, Donald's going to be fine. I'm just, I'm kind of making a joke. Kind of. Jason, it's really hard to tell. I don't feel like Brian Allen was awful. But I have to go back I have to watch the film. So hopefully all 22 comes out this week. We will see. NFL Game Pass is really being tough on that. If it comes out, you can expect a film breakdown on that, as best as I can do. I want to go over the game, maybe even do a live stream of me going over the game, just watching the game with you guys. That I do want to do. So, Jake, that was a great Rams win. I hope the Rams defense comes to Levi. We will run like crazy with our backs. They better get that fixed. But the Rams passing was killer. Yeah, Coach. I think they'll get the run game fixed. Like I said, I think it was really a time of possession thing where the defense was on the field so long that they were really tired. I think they'll get that fixed for sure. Player of the game for the Rams, I mean, I feel like it kind of has to be... I'm going to go Stafford. Asked to come to this team, and obviously he's got a lot of weapons, don't get me wrong, but to come to this team, learn a completely new offense, and not master it, obviously, because how would you have mastered it in that time? To come to this team and just absolutely just go off. That's what it's all about there. So I'd say Stafford, player of the game. Honorable mention, I would say, is Justin Hollins. He'd be the defensive player of the game for me. I thought he played outstandingly. And on top of that, I mean, Jalen Ramsey was everywhere too. So, that's what I would say in that regard. Great question, by the way. Yeah, no, Cooper Kupp is huge. What about the really soft coverage? It's part of their scheme. It's really to trick Andy Dalton. It's to trick, it's to trick different quarterbacks that come in the league because, it's basically what they're going to do is they're going to spread everything out. Like, look at how spread out that team was. They were 5-1, so they had one guy at linebacker. They had 5 guys up front, and then the rest of the guys they kind of had spread all over the place. And it really, don't get me wrong, when it doesn't work, you get gashed. But when it does work, it's a thing of beauty. So, that's pretty much what it was. And I'm sure, they're just, I mean, they're trying things out. It's not a finished product, but we will see with that defense for sure. I think they'll be fine. I think they're going to be top 10, top 3 or anything like that. I don't know. I think after today, I can say, I don't know if the Rams are the best offense right now, but the Rams will be the best offense in the NFL this year. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have the best defense in football right now. Just seeing their total dominance against the Bills and how they were able to win that game, steal down the road. I mean, that's the defense. You know, obviously they played complementary football, winning on special teams, and they also came through on offense in clutch moments. But, you know, those are the two, I think. The Rams, they are going to have the best offense in football if they don't already right now. And the Steelers have the best defense. So if they end up facing each other, that would be a fun Super Bowl. We'll see, you know, what happens. All right, because YouTube likes to, you know, shoot everything up when I'm reading it. So sorry about that. I was reading someone's question, and then it scrolled up on me. Okay, people saw that. How about our crappy run defense that better get fixed? B, you're going to get fixed before we face a team. Well, P-Train, I kind of already, addressed that. But, yeah, I really do think it was time of possession. I think they'll be fine, ready to go for week 2. Who do you want us to play in the Super Bowl? Chargers, because I think, 1, an all-LA Super Bowl would be great, and 2, I like being right. And the Chargers would make me right there, so I got to say Chargers. Let's see here. Okay. That's a good question, though. Brian Allen is not even solid. OMG. I don't think he was horrible, but I got to go back and watch the tape. I've got a question. How much worse do you think the D will be this year with Morris as the D coordinator versus Staley last year? I don't think the defense will be horrible or anything. I don't think it'll fall off like without Staley. I think it'll just be like subtle things that you notice, but it's not the end of the world. You can win a Super Bowl with a defense like, what Raheem Morris I think is going to, house. But, I mean, to be honest with you, top 10 I think is enough. Top 15 is probably enough. But I think they're going to be top 10. Staley was the number 1 defense. So I don't think they'll be number 1, but hey, stranger things have happened, right? AD changed gloves. Go look. They went from yellow to white. Oh, yeah. Go watch it, Jake. He's below average. Initial thoughts on the Colts matchup. Carl, I got news for you. You know, I think Carson Wentz looked good today. By the way, thanks for being on the channel. Appreciate you, all your support. Everyone, but, appreciate you, Carl. I think Carson Wentz looked good today. I think you saw some good things. The Colts have a running game. If the Rams don't get that fixed, they're going to be able to run down their throat. You have some weapons there. Nothing that is physically as imposing as somebody like Allen Robinson, but you do have weapons in Indy. You do have Zach Pascal is a model of consistency, Mr. Reliable over the middle, can take a hit, can hold on to the football. You have Paris Campbell, who is, explosive. You have Michael Pittman. Obviously, a lot of LA fans know who he is from SC. So I'm definitely curious. The defense, they have their moments. They can make things happen. Kwity Paye, but I got to say, I think the Rams have a chance to do the same thing they did to the Bears tonight in that type of game and win by like 20 points. I mean, I would not be surprised at all. I think the Rams are really about to, like I said this. I remember saying it the last time I was on the stream. I was like, think about the greatest show on turf and how they punched the Ravens in the mouth week 1. That's kind of how I feel what this team is going to do, to the Bears. And that's what they did. I mean, really, to be honest with you, that's what they did. They punched him in the mouth. I mean, we could talk about how they, didn't finish him off until late. Whatever, fine. 34-14, no matter how you stretch it, that's good. The Rams beat the Ravens in 1999, 27-10. That same defense the next season went to the Super Bowl. So, I'm not saying the Bears are a Super Bowl team or anything like that, but I did have a feeling that they were just going to come out, firing all cylinders, and just kind of push the pile and, really make a statement. I thought the Rams did that well tonight. You know, was definitely, I felt really good about that. Let's see here. So yeah, I would say the Rams beat the Colts. I don't want to say easily because I don't want to disrespect the Colts, because I do like Wentz. I do like what they're doing. I think Chris Ballard's a good GM and he's really helping them out. And obviously they have a chance. But without Eric Fisher, man, without, you know, Fisher's a huge loss. I mean, now you're dealing with Julian Davenport and Sam Tevy. I think it opens up a huge opportunity for another, you know, Justin Hollins type of explosion. He had 2 sacks tonight and a forced fumble. So I think Hollins could take advantage of that. I think Donald is going to be out for blood. We will see if Brian Allen, can withstand DeForest Buckner up front. But, yeah, I got the Rams comfortably in that one. Great question, though. So, okay. What has to be noted is that the Woods touchdown, Stafford almost got sacked. Goff would have got sacked. Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, it's funny because the idea, the point of bringing in Jared Goff that, I mean, I remember them talking about is they loved his ability in the red zone. They loved his ability to make decisions under pressure. And I felt like he's great in structure, good in structure, you know. If everything stays the way it's supposed to stay, yeah. But when he has to think outside the box, improvise, use his mobility, that's not his best. That's not his strong suit. So that's what I'll say in that regard. And I do think, Jazz, you're absolutely right on that. The catch by Bobby Trees was the best of the week, I believe. That's saying a lot, too, because there were some marvelous catches. There was that one, what was the guy? He went up and totally plucked the ball out of the air. It was crazy. I think it was Ridley. I want to say it was Calvin Ridley. There was another huge catch by Devontae Parker in the Miami Patriots game. There were some crazy catches today. I can't even think of most of them. I saw so much football, my mind is mush. Van is on the press conference at the moment. That's cool. Yeah, Van, that was really cool to see him have that type of night. And honestly, they probably could have used him more. It just, that's the way the game worked out. You and I knew Stafford was the real deal. Yeah, Rams house, you know. I kept saying, I tweeted out, they aren't ready. And what do I mean by that? I mean the people that really don't believe Stafford is good. People that really didn't watch Stafford. People that had a chance to watch Stafford in the offseason, go back and watch his games, admit that they were wrong, but didn't. Those are the people I'm talking about. They're not ready. They're not ready for Stafford to be up here. They're not. And furthermore, it doesn't fit the narrative if you're going to be like, well, Jared Goff, I mean, went to the Super Bowl and they just sent him away like no loyalty, totally out of, total disrespect. I think people look at it way too personally. I don't think it was meant to be that personal. And they said it tonight in the telecast. Sean McVay didn't want somebody he had to teach. He wanted a partner, someone to work with, someone to grow with. It's literally a marriage. That analogy works. And right now, the Rams feel really freaking good about that marriage. And they proved it. They put it on full display in front of the entire country. Week 1, everyone got to see what Stafford can do. So, we will see. We will see with that. But, he's the real deal. And it's not, I remember the Dallas game, during the Dallas game, I think it was, I love that they pointed it out. I want to say it was Al Michaels. I'm not sure if it was Al Michaels, but I want to say it was. Al Michaels saying, we didn't really get a ton of primetime games. We didn't get to see Stafford a lot. And then Chris Collinsworth is like, I went back and I watched Stafford, and I didn't realize he was that good. So, I mean, everyone's guilty of it, Even maybe I am to a degree. As much as I love him, maybe I'm even underrating him. Who knows? I mean, Guys, I feel really good about the future. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, there's a reason why I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. It had nothing homer about it. I understand I'm wearing a Rams hat. I understand I'm wearing a Rams jersey. I don't care about being a homer. I don't care. I don't always pick the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I don't. This year feels different. This year feels like the changing of a tide, the turning of a tide, whatever you want to call it. Changing of the guard, you know? It just feels different. And, I mean, I understand the NFC West looked good today, but if the Rams can beat the Niners, they've already proven that they can beat the Seahawks. They've already proven they can beat the Cardinals. If the Rams can beat the Niners, there's nothing holding them back. Literally nothing. I mean, I think they can beat the Buccaneers week 3, which would be the tiebreaker, in my opinion, for the NFC West. The NFC title, the number 1 seed, to get that bye. I think that would be the tiebreaker, theoretically. So that's a huge game, but I think the Rams can win that. There were people saying, you only have 2 wins? You only have 2 losses on their schedule? Who are they? And why do you not have the Packers? I'm like, well, today didn't make you feel great about the Packers beating the Rams. I don't know, man. I feel there's something different about this team. I've said it all off season. It does not matter that I feel for Cam Akers. I really do. I love the guy. I have his jersey. I like Cam Akers a lot. But the Rams didn't lose a win once they lost Cam Akers. They didn't even lose a win. Like, I didn't even take a win off their schedule and turn it into a loss because of the loss of Cam Akers. The win above replacement is, literally minimal. I mean, I just think they showed it to you tonight. Like, Henderson can be the guy. And they have Michelle. And they're confident enough in Jake Funk to be this is what I mean. So, like, when people are writing off the season after the Akers injury, like, I understand knee-jerk reaction. It's really sad. It sucks. And obviously, I'm not going to lie to you, Cam Akers would help this offense. He wouldn't hurt it. He'd definitely help. But to act like Cam Akers, who at this point is a luxury running back, I mean, I don't even know if they 100% needed to draft him last year. I mean, they're still a Super Bowl favorite. You have the Rams, you have Tampa, you have the Chargers. Chargers look good today. They played the Washington football team. They went on the road. They won a tough game. They look good today. You know? Rams looked very good today. I mean, aside from teams that looked as good as the Rams, I mean, it would really be what? The Texans, but they played the Jaguars, and I'm not very high on the Texans. Who else? Eagles. Not sold on the Eagles. Who else? Niners almost gave up a 21-point lead. I mean, Seattle, Arizona, maybe Arizona. I mean, but how much better did Arizona get? And how much worse are the Titans? I just think there's a lot that goes into it. Obviously, it's week 1. But I'm not yet convinced that, at least in my opinion, I'm not yet convinced that there's a team that's like the Rams except for the Bucs. The Bucs are the one team, because I feel like the Rams today kind of showed you they would tear apart the Chiefs. They really would. You know, the Chiefs' downfall would be the fact that they don't want to take what the defense gives them. They don't want to use those short passes underneath. They would go for the deep ball. And they would challenge Ramsey. They would challenge Darius Williams. They would challenge, I don't think that's the way you beat the Rams. I think you beat the Rams similar to how the Bears tried to today. That's the game plan. Whether you execute it and it works, that's the question. So I look at the Chiefs and I'm like, wait, Daniel Sorensen is playing safety for them? Like, I'm not scared of the Chiefs' defense in the slightest. The Rams would rip through the Chiefs' secondary. Absolutely tear through it. I mean, the Bears have a better secondary, and they made them look silly. That's another thing. The 49ers just lost Jason Verrett. Their secondary is now compromised. Seattle's secondary was already compromised, and Arizona's secondary I still don't think is very good. They also had a cornerback literally retire before the season in Malcolm Butler. That's a big thing. Rams kind of shored up at the secondary spot. They got really good contribution out of David Long and Robert Rochelle today. Have to feel good about that. So, you know, again, it's week 1. But if you're watching a pregame or postgame show, I'm just going to tell you like it is. I mean, I feel really good about this team. Okay. What's up, Chantry? Trying to... Yeah, Carl, I answered your question. I'm trying to find all the problem is it scrolls when I'm reading, and it's just, you know, Montgomery is a beast. He needs to get on a good team before he hits the running back wall. Well, that's what free agency will do. Roommate was saying the Rams are like the Chiefs in that they have only 2 real weapons, and I don't know what game he was watching. I mean, that is my issue with the Chiefs. He's absolutely right with the Chiefs because Mecole Hardman is like, I mean, I don't think Mecole Hardman's as good as Deshaun Jackson or Van Jefferson. He may have more experience than Van Jefferson. He doesn't have more than Deshaun. Hill and Kelsey are better than anybody on the Rams. But then after that, I take the Rams because they have so many pieces, you know? I mean, Edwards-Helaire is really good, so I got to give him, you know, some props. Love that everyone got touches in the pass game. Can't cover them all. Exactly. How would you rate Stafford's performance? An A, you know? I mean, A+ probably would have been... I'll just give it an A+. I mean, why not? He was pretty perfect tonight. Obviously, Stafford, 156.1 rating. I give Stafford a 10. Is that out of 10? SoFi looked good with the fans, and they were loud, and I loved it. That's awesome. Kupp's yak to get that first down. Yeah, that was a huge play for Kupp. Not only was Kupp so good on that, but think about this. Robert Woods blocking downfield. I mean, he does it all the time, but I love to watch that happen. I absolutely love that. You know, you're playing complementary football. You know, it's not all about you. You know, I know the receiver position is all about, you know, diva and all that, has that stigma, but like you can't, if you can't block, you can't play wide receiver for Sean McVay. You just can't. So I love him, man. Woods was just such a good, I mean, he just, you know, he didn't have a huge game, but that touchdown at the end just goes to show you he's so underrated, and it's never going to go away. He's never going to get the credit because he's always going to have, well, this is what happens when you play with Kupp and you play with Van and you play with Deshaun. This is what happens when Matthew Stafford's your quarterback. Like, no, he's been doing this with Goff. Like, he's legit. By the way, thank you, AZZA. I just noticed that you donated. Appreciate that. Sack that like button. Thumbs up button, guys. Yes, please do. You guys are insane with the comments. I love it. If you guys have a comment that you need me to read, it's best to throw a super chat in there, even if it's like really small, because then it highlights it. So that's the point of the super chat. Because like when it gets like this, I can't keep up. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trying, and YouTube just keeps updating. I'm going to lose like half of these comments, which sucks, you know. So yeah, if it's really important, like a really important question, be sure to drop it below. Because my thing keeps updating, and it's just like I'm trying to read it. You guys have been fast and furious with that. Oh, I'm not sleeping on Ramsey. No, not sleeping on Ramsey. Funk had a tackle on special teams, I believe. I thought that's what I saw anyway. I can't believe I'm still up, dude. No joke, guys, I've streamed more than a third of the day today. Well, now it's Monday, but you get my point. I have absolutely grinded myself to the bone, but it's been totally worth it and fun, and I've interacted with so many great people, and here we are. I just noticed, oh my god, we have over 220 people live. This is crazy. Let's get those thumbs up if you can. Got 150, 151 likes. Keep that thing going up. Yeah, Woods is awesome. I mean, I met Woods. Woods is great. Gotta love Woods. Well, that's my thing, James, and that's a great point. Wait until this offense really starts meshing in 5 games or so. That's exactly... Yeah, exactly. I was surprised you didn't see any 2-2 Atwell. I just, you know... But I was surprised you didn't see any 2-2 Atwell, but you also didn't see any Terrell Burgess, which was really much... It was a shock to me. Oh, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Robert Woods is so down to earth, man. So down to earth. Yeah, Mike. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. Van Jefferson could be that deep threat. He had a deeper ball than Van Jefferson. Deshaun Jackson. So Rochelle looked good. Rochelle looked good. My father just sent me a text. Something about Stafford, I think. Let's see. By the way, I don't know if you saw, but it was the highest rating ever for a quarterback in a debut for a team. And then my friend Grant, who's a Bills fan, said the Rams look like what everyone thought the Bills would look like. Oh, man. I know it's only week 1, but come on, it's fun. We gotta have fun, right? That's what it's all about. If you're not having fun, I don't know what to say. No Jacob Harris either, even at the end. Yeah. Woods is very well-rounded. He's definitely up there. Thank you, Anon. I'm going to continue doing so. Thank you, D. Yeah, I know. You guys know I stick by my guns. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. If Van Jefferson came out, dropped 2 passes, whatever. You know what Van Jefferson is with the deep ball? I can tell you exactly who he reminds me of. He's almost the same size as him. He's literally what the Rams wanted Mike Thomas to be. Do you remember Mike Thomas? Mike Thomas from, I don't even remember the name. Southern Miss, I want to say? He's literally what Mike Thomas was supposed to be. That deep threat ability. Yeah, I know. Now I want to see the Rams and Saints play. Is Jameis for real? I wouldn't be surprised. I really like Jameis. This is what happens when you give him a shot. I actually kind of, rooted for him today a little bit because I like that he got a shot. No, he didn't. Mike Thomas wait, he's still on a roster? I didn't know he made the Bengals, truthfully. He dropped 3? You're not kidding. Wow, okay. All right, then. Damn. Yeah, Van is a deep threat. Run defense will get better. Don't worry. Wow, that matches the entire Rams total of 2020. That's crazy. I saw the Lions game. Yeah, I want Goff to do well. I rooted for the Lions today, not just because they played the 49ers, but, you know. Yeah, Kadarius Hodge. He made the team. You know, Goff, that pick six was a little interesting because it was like, I know people were saying he hit his arm or whatever, but he also threw it into like triple coverage, so I don't know what he was doing. You know that one play where Matthew Stafford threw that up to Tyler Higbee. He caught that on the run. You really started to get a feel for like Tyler Higbee, like what he could potentially be in this offense, and man, there wasn't a ton of snaps to go around. They didn't have the ball long enough, so the stats don't match what could have been. But I mean, you could have seen theoretically 3 guys over 1,000 yards. That's the thing. Kupp went over 1,000. Yeah, David Long looked good, man. I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. You guys join the Discord. Let's make sure everybody that wants to, anyway, joins the Discord. That link right there. Gerald Everett caught a touchdown. Yeah, I saw that. He's got great touch, man. He's got great touch. Thank you for liking the stream, John. And special thank you to Levi Evans. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Tom Martin, thank you for the like. Oscar, thank you for the like. Stephen Hull, thank you for subscribing. John Powell, thank you for subscribing. William Puckett. Joe Heat Dalt, thank you for subscribing. I also want to give a shout out to my members here. I'm going to bring up the member list right now, since I can't remember every single person. If you guys want to become a member, it's 99 cents. You'll get badges. I mean, it's 99 cents starting at 99 cents. There's other perks. There's early access stuff coming on my stream, things like that. You can check that out. Link is in the description. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was looking at the members. All right. So, shout out. Joseph Garcia for being a gold member. The Dark Saber for being a platinum member. Scott B for being a bronze member. EA Ramos, Mark Smith, Ram Fan Ashton, Laguna Productions, Who Am I, IDIY, Ryan Pemana, sorry if I pronounced that name wrong, Roy the Wolf, RV Hopper, Tyler Peak, David Henry Posadas, AZZA, and Eric Richardson. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Shout out to all of you for becoming members of my channel. I do appreciate that. Okay, thoughts on our centers for first start today? I mean, like I said, I'm gonna have to go back to watch the film, see what Brian Allen was able to do. I like isolating that and just focusing on that particular subject instead of everyone else. I think my quick view of it, I thought Brian Allen was all right. I do think there were times where he got pushed back into Stafford a little bit. Stafford didn't have the best pocket, but I also don't think he had the worst pocket. I thought the offensive line was all right. Thanks, Scott. Let's see here. Havenstein did play well, yeah. I thought Whitworth got worked a little bit on the outside. Not the whole game, but, you know, there were moments. What do you think of the PFF ratings in general? Great question. I mean, I think the PFF ratings are a knowledgeable tool. I think they're a good tool for when you already have context, right? But I think PFF ratings used standalone can be not only disruptive to, you know, your flow of knowledge and, you know, not only learning about where a player stands as far as tier group and all of that, but can also be kind of irresponsible to go just entirely off a human-made number, human-made, you know, formula, so to speak, because it's human-made. Humans make errors. You know, humans have their own opinions. And essentially, if you're going by their scale of -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, and say Stafford's throw to Van Jefferson, you give a 2. It's the best on the scale that you could have had. But then someone else looks at that and says, well, his throw caused Van Jefferson to fall to the ground, so I'm going to give it a 1. See how that works? It's all opinion-based. How well, and we don't, you know, there's so much that's just not known, so. What do the Rams need most? I think the Rams just, you know, they need to keep learning this offense. Stafford to learn this offense. You know, they are creating a new offense, so to speak. The running schemes are so different. They're not running that, you know, zone, you know, the wide zone, you know, running scheme, you know, and Hendo's been going downhill more. I think he only got to the outside once. He bumped it to the outside. Got down the sideline. It was like the last run of the game. I just think, like, you know, to come out here and you're hearing constantly, you know, you're hearing joint practices, the Cowboys outplayed them, the Raiders made them look bad, and they come out here and beat the brakes off of the Bears. You have to feel good about that. Yeah, I tweeted, I just think there are two types of people in this world. The people who knew how good Matthew Stafford was and the people who didn't. And people got, of course, butthurt about it, but... What's up, Art? I think we will have 6 800-yard plus pass catchers. That's a lot, but when you think about it, we have 17 games. Kupp, Woods, Jefferson, Higbee. 6? 6 over 800? Kupp, Woods, Jefferson, Jackson, Higbee. That's 5 right there. I don't know if there's another receiver that would take over and have 800 plus. Any tips on how to evaluate O-linemen during gameplay? I don't know what to look for. It all kind of runs together. You're right, JP, and it can. You have to kind of teach yourself to not follow where the football is, look at the other nuances of the game. And so when you're watching offensive linemen, you want to make sure a bunch of things. But, you know, a thing I always want to make sure is leverage and anchor. If a guy has an anchor, he has a sturdy base. He's like, essentially, you're putting together, not all of you have done this, but maybe you have. You're putting together, one of those mic clamps, so to speak. The thing I have right here. You're putting one of those together. You're clamping it on your desk, okay? So essentially an offensive lineman that has like a sturdy base, so to speak, and has that anchor. It's like you clamped it to your desk. You're good to go, right? But for the people that, don't like clamping it super hard to their desk, that's like the offensive lineman that doesn't have that sturdy base, can get pushed off, can be redirected, things like that. And there's different blocking schemes. It gets a little confusing, right? So you don't always know in the context of how the play is going what is happening. Thank you so much, CMDR Carney. I appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you with the donut there. So JP, essentially, you have to keep in mind that it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to know exactly what play is being run, all of that. But what you can do is look at it in terms of how I look at it as far as like like scouting. So like when I'm scouting my college prospects, I'm trying to rank them and everything. I look for things like this. I look for guys' hand usage, because if an offensive lineman can get his hands on you, he can neutralize you at the point of attack. So in pass pro, I want to see an offensive lineman neutralize his opponent. Can he get his hands on him? Is his hand usage awful? All that, that type of thing. Also footwork and kick slide. Like if you're a left tackle or right tackle, you have to have that kick slide to be able to stop a speed rusher. You have a guy running off the edge, and if you can't slide, you're done. There are different techniques. I don't know them personally because I'm not an offensive lineman, but, there's a lot that goes into it. But what I would say, starting with the basics, JP, you want to just follow the player, the subject that you want to follow. Don't focus on the football, because once you focus on the football, you lose sight of everything. It's hard. It is so hard to follow the game while not zoning in on the football. You have to teach yourself. But once you teach yourself, it becomes easy. So that's what I will say in that regard. What's up, Masanori? How we doing? Jeff is like, when we were the greatest show on turf, bend don't break. I say 5 and 3,000 yards. So 5 800-yard receivers, and you think 3,000-yard receiver. I mean, hey, I could see it. I could see it. Thank you, Jordan, so much. I appreciate it. Feeling on run game without Akers, defense with Raheem Morris. Feeling is, I really like the run game. I think, you look at Darrell Henderson, what he was brought in to do. Before Akers came to play, he was going to be the guy that took over for Todd Gurley. He was a third rounder that they traded up to get. And, I think he's bulked up a little bit. He looked noticeably bigger, filled out more. So I feel really good about the run game. Plus, you have Sony Michel. He gets more comfortable to get more reps. If they need to, get Jake Funk involved, they can do that. And then the defense, in my opinion, I think is a work in progress. But I think they're so high. They're a top 10 defense right now. It's really nowhere to go but up. They'll stay top 10, I think. And really the run game doesn't worry me, because I think a lot of it came down to time of possession. Defense was on the field too long. And, I've been saying this all night, so I don't want to get too much into it. But, the defense was on the field too long, essentially. And so it made it really easy, a worn-down defense to get worn down even more by David Montgomery running the football. When you're tired, you're lethargic or whatever, you struggle to do things that you want to do. Somehow I'm very tired, lethargic, and I'm not struggling to talk. But, I would at some point if I just kept going. I have. So, yeah, that's what I'll say. I feel good about the run game, and I feel good about the defense. Defense is going to take time to develop. I think the run game will be really good next week against the Colts. So that's how I see that going. 2-2 is on the Van Jefferson strategy. Kind of. Keep in mind, Van Jefferson was used in that game against the Cowboys, caught 2 important passes, that one over the top. 2-2 is going to be a special teamer until he gets comfortable, until they get comfortable wanting to use him. But I think also you have to keep in mind that COVID pushed him behind. He had COVID. He missed like 1 to 2 weeks, in training camp, valuable weeks as soon as it started. So he's a little behind, but that they got a lot of reps in preseason, so I don't feel too bad about him. He's a long-term asset. You look at Ernest Jones, who didn't play any defense today that I know of. You look at Tutu Atwell, Jacob Harris, Ernest Brown on the practice squad. Like, all these guys are like assets, so to speak. The long-term assets. They're not supposed to have huge roles this year. Jake Funk really shocked the coaching staff. Skoranek is going to be huge on special teams. He's somebody, who Ben Skoranek reminds me of? He reminds me of Adam Thielen. And I know that sounds funny, right, to people. But here's why. Adam Thielen wasn't just a guy who had already been established. Adam Thielen was like Minnesota, I think it was Minnesota State. And, he kind of came out of nowhere, and he won a job as a special teamer. And he was a guy that was, basically blocking all sorts of punts and working as a gunner. And then he made a name for himself. And so, I just kind of feel like that's the type of guy that you're looking at, in that regard in Skoranek. We'll see. He's not going to necessarily be Thielen, or maybe he will. Who knows? But I kind of see that, and I'm excited to see him when he gets healthy. We'll see him on special teams. Jake Funk was ready to return kicks tonight. Absolutely. He was my go-to kick returner. I had handpicked beforehand. First time listening to you. Love the content, my man. Thank you so much, Jacob. I really do appreciate that. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and you're going to get plenty of this type of content throughout the year. I do a bunch of content, but it's mainly Rams focused, especially, during the season. Because Atwell at best is our wide receiver 5, and Djax only got 2 targets. So if Djax is only getting spotted twice, Atwell isn't going to play much. Exactly. That's a really good point, Renee. I just think, really the game plan all along was to get Stafford comfortable. Well, here's the thing. You can have a game plan to win while also having a game plan for the long term to develop as you go. And this is oftentimes what people don't understand. It's not that they're sacrificing a win or a loss. It's that it's part of the system. It's part of the process, the whole trust the process thing. Stafford, the process could be that, hey, we want to test you out with the deep ball in week 1. We feel like we can, exploit some matchups. And then in week 2, we're going to go more with our usual, passing, balanced passing attack, utilize the play action, all of that. Then week 3, they could do something different. I just feel like, to me, I'm not going to take too much away from what they did in, week 1. I think Atwell will be used this season. I don't think it says that he won't. I just think maybe, if you remember, Jeff Fisher used to bench rookies just to make a point, Aaron Donald didn't play until week 4, if you remember that. There's no reason why that should have happened, but Aaron Donald did not play until week 4 his rookie year. So that's something people forget. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about something important. The new retro jerseys are way better than the god-awful, dirty, bone jerseys, and the new jerseys need to become our regular away jerseys. I didn't think the fan sounded loud. So, Renee, I really like the modern throwback. I also really like the bone, and I like the royal. The modern throwback to me today looked like the best. I'm not normally a huge fan of the white jerseys, in general for football. I've really been all for solids, but I gotta tell you, the thing absolutely pops. It works, and I love it. You're welcome, JP. I tried my best. Yeah, the quarterback rating is nuts. My biggest fear was the running backs and pass protection, but the new staff empty sets look nice. Yeah, Darrell Henderson thrives in pass pro. They just didn't really use him today, but or not a lot. Definitely not like Zeke Elliott with the Dallas Cowboys, but he's somebody that can definitely work in pass pro. He's one of the better running backs in the league at that. So I don't think that's too much of a worry there. Yeah, I follow the ball, man. Yeah, JP, it's hard. I mean, everyone, it's like, you know, it's one of those things you're trying to, it's the best way I'm putting it. I mean, really, it's kind of like hockey in a sense. Hockey is so, it's like another science, just like football. And there's these plays and the forecheck and things like that where it's like, okay, that guy has his role, that guy's doing that guy's the enforcer, that guy's setting this up, and you can see it. Oh, okay, he's setting this up. I see the pass coming. You can see things that are happening before the puck is delivered. But, you know, if you get too attached to the puck, then you'll miss out on some of the cool things that are happening and how a certain play comes to be. It's the same thing with the NFL. It's the same thing with football. Because if you are constantly looking at the football, then it takes away everything else. But here's the thing. We are human. We only have two, eyes. So because of that, we're only able to look away from the football, focus on another subject. We can't look at a screen and process what everyone's doing at the same exact time and give this huge report, be like, yeah, he was great, he was great, he was great, he was great. No, because we are flawed as human beings because we can't possibly do that. We can't compute that. We're not machines. So when people are like, yeah, you know, I watched everybody. Okay, how many times did you watch the film? No, I just went through it once. Not good enough. Not good enough. If you are trying to say that you watched everybody, you have to watch film multiple times of the same film. Because there's no way that you could sit there and say that you watched the offensive line, the defensive line, the quarterback, the running back, the wide receiver, the tight end. No, there's no way. Because it's a different type of watching. Think of it like this. It's like a series, right? You don't, like, if you start a series, okay, you're not going to just watch the first movie in said series. You have to keep watching them. So when it comes to, like, film, you want to watch the quarterbacks. Then you're like, okay, I'm done with the quarterback. Same movie, right? But it's, you know, the next part of the series. It's the sequel. And now you're doing the running backs and so forth. So, you know. I think Brian Allen looks absolutely huge now, which I don't remember him being that big. So I will say that. But yeah, definitely have to go back to the tape on that. And I'm just holding out hope that Game Pass helps me out and drops the all 22. Yeah. I definitely the LA Rams, LA Chargers Super Bowl possibly off to a good start. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for breaking it down. You're welcome. Modern Throwback was hitting. Biggest surprises of week 1? Oh man. God, there were so many. Well, let's talk about it. I mean, you know, you look at week 1. I was a little surprised to see Arthur Smith's offense just completely backfire in Atlanta. I was surprised to see the Green Bay Packers get blown to smithereens. As much as I love Jameis Winston, and I've been saying he is the guy, stop with the Taysom Hill crap. He is the guy. I was surprised he threw for 5 touchdowns. I was surprised the Cowboys kept it close in Tampa and should have won the game. I was surprised that the Steelers were able to get the contributions they needed to on special teams. Obviously, defense, I felt like would keep them in the game. Was a little surprised that the Steelers' defense didn't do better. Was definitely surprised about the Eagles dominating the Falcons. Jalen Hurts looked good. That didn't surprise me. Everyone's trying to write off the poor kid, but I think he's better than Tua Tagovailoa. I watched both at Alabama. I can tell you Tua was better at Alabama, but then when Hurts went to Oklahoma, I feel like he developed another side to him. So that was definitely, you know, surprising to me. All of those, just wanted to mention Hurts, who didn't surprise me. The Bengals beating the Vikings, a little bit of a surprise. I saw it somewhat coming, although I picked the Vikings. Jamar Chase going over 100 yards didn't surprise me. Burrow looking that comfortable with kind of a dismal, pocket definitely was surprising. Jared Goff leading a furious comeback, 17 points in the fourth quarter for the Lions, making it 41-33, had an opportunity to tie it within the final minutes. That was a little surprising to me. The Cardinals blowing out the Titans, super surprising. I like their team a lot, and I've been really high on them, but I did not expect that. I don't think many people did. The Seahawks beating the Colts, nothing really surprised me in that game. Yeah, nothing really surprised me in that game. And then the Chargers versus Washington. This is how I expected it to go. I felt like it would be ugly. I think, the Chargers win the game and people would still be like, Jake, they don't look that, physically imposing. They don't look that physical, whatever. Chargers went on the road and they beat a really good defense. And, I think they showed they belong. So, the Chargers there. Panthers, Jets. Was not surprised in how that went down. I don't think Zach Wilson played well. I thought Sam Darnold did. Texans, Jaguars. Yes, I was absolutely surprised the Texans really dominated the Jaguars. Wasn't surprised Trevor Lawrence struggled. There hasn't been a number 1 overall pick in his first ever season or first ever game, so to speak, to win since David Carr. So David Carr is probably taking a bubble bath or celebrating in some way today that his streak is still intact. The Chiefs-Browns game was a little surprising. I didn't think the Chiefs would be that competitive. I also didn't realize the Browns. I didn't think the Browns would be that competitive. I also didn't realize the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense I don't think is very good. So, that was a little bit of a surprise to me. The Dolphins-Patriots, I was surprised the Dolphins won, to be honest with you. The Patriots outplayed them. They should have won the game. 2 fumbles really came down to the wire. Damian Harris had 100 yards and fumbled. That was a huge loss later on in the game. Jalen Waddle looked good, not to my surprise. So that was a little surprising. The Broncos, I thought they looked good. Fangio looked good. That team looks good. Teddy Bridgewater managed well. I thought it was a little surprising they beat the Giants the way they did, and Giants struggled, but, that's that. And then, lastly, the Rams and Bears. Nothing surprised me in that game. It went pretty much how I expected, or around how I expected, and my expectations were monumentally high. So, I think that's probably the best way I can put as far as if there's anything I didn't expect. That's what I would say. Wow, we're still over 200 views. Appreciate y'all. Let's see if we can get more in the Discord. We're going to be doing, what the hell is it called? I'm totally blanking. We're going to be doing giveaways, so be sure to enter that Discord. It is free. $0, 0 cents. Discord. Okay. Can Jackson win the rushing title as a QB? That is a great question. I don't think he's going to, because I really just don't know if you can run a quarterback that much to do it. I don't know. I also think Tyson Williams is going to have a legit starting role, so that's also interesting, that dynamic. I don't think he's going to win the rushing title. I have personally... actually, I don't even know who I have. Let me look it up. I'm going to look it up right now, because I think it is... let's see here. I thought it was Najee Harris. I know he's off to not the best start, but... he went up against a rough, tough Bills defense, so I'm not going to hold it against him too much. Okay. So, leading rusher on the season. Oh, Derrick Henry. Yeah, he's not going to win the rushing title. Derrick Henry, I think, is going to win the rushing title. I have him over 1,700 yards rushing. He had over 2,000 last year. I think there's a regression, and it's not a big one. Not a big one for Henry, but there's a slight regression because of the addition of Julio Jones. But I'm not too worried about it. By the way, guys, Mixon looked really good. That's a trade candidate. If you guys are playing fantasy football, watch out for Mixon. See if you can get him cheap, because I think no matter what, Mixon can put up top 5 numbers, but people will never give him that credit. And we'll never keep him in that top 5 conversation. It's really odd. I don't know. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. We got almost 200 people in here still, which is amazing. Be sure to hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Let's get to 200 likes. Would be huge. Let's get it up. Stafford GOAT. I'm so sad the run game was really trash for the Rams. I think right there might mess them up. I don't really think so. I mean, at the end of the day, Hendo averaged 4.4 yards per carry. He was really fine. Not really a big deal. The run game is going to get better, too. I'm not sure they've melted down all night about the run defense in the Discord. All right. Fun little twist here for my horror movie fans. Gonna combine my Ram stuff with horror real quick. Okay. If you could describe how the Rams beat the Bears tonight, which horror movie villain would you give the Rams as far as, like, what did they do to the Bears? Fill in the blank. Go. Sparkling ice, baby. Thanos, Freddy Krueger. That's funny. The Rams were Freddy Krueger today. Dr. Doom. Oof. Pennywise. There we go. Friday the 13th. The Rams were Jason Voorhees. Discombobulated them. Damn. All right, guys. I'm not going to lie. When the Rams play on the road and they win by a lot, I'm going to... it's going to be bad when I'm like, the Joker, Jeepers... I hate Jeepers Creepers. I love the Joker, though. Here's Joshny. Or Michael Myers, yeah. That's dope. Scott's going to the Colts game. Damn, Scott. You got a lot going for you right now between the PS5 and the Colts game. Jeez. Sauron. Wow, you're just all over the place, man. In a good way. The Rams got a road game against Indy. I think Alexis is going to that game, by the way, Scott. My co-host of the Downtown Rams podcast. If you guys don't follow, subscribe, whatever, to the Downtown Rams podcast, be sure to do that. It's Rams podcast. It's me. It's Alexis. You know. I'm going to Foo Fighters tomorrow. Pop-up show. I bought tickets, I don't really have the money for it, but priceless, though. You know, it's the Foo Fighters. Coney Island, baby. Oh, man. Man, these are a lot of fun. You know, and to start breaking through the 200 barrier, that's a good sign, guys. That's a real good sign for the future. Where do we hit? Where do we peak at? 227? I love that. I really do. I think, you guys obviously make this channel what it is. I mean, I just put out the videos. No one watched them. It wouldn't happen. Thank you, Vector. Yeah, it was a great game. I enjoyed it. Big time. We're getting closer. Trying to get to 7,000. Be sure to sub if you haven't already. Although I think everyone in here has subbed. Be sure to like if you haven't already. That's the thumbs up. Don't mind my destroyed thumb. That's what happens when you break your thumb, by the way. And this, like, your finger. Like, look at this. Like, look at this. There's no way that's normal. Look at that. It's, like, broken. I mean, I've broken it so many times. Like, it's like, you know. It's not Torrey Holt level. I don't know if you've seen Torrey Holt's dislocated finger. To remind him. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Appreciate you, Sammy Crafty. You're a real one. No worries, Scott. You're here for almost every stream. It's not an adult beverage. It is a sparkling ice caffeine. I don't know when it's going to zoom in. There we go. Only real ones remember Canada Dry. I remember those days. I was in the studio today. If you guys want to check out after this, when I get off, you can go over to the channel, and or you can go to the AJ Show channel. AJ Show I did with Adam Steele, who's my cousin, on YouTube. You know, we predicted all the NFL games and all of that. So you can go over there. You can find out how I did, and you could bully me into submission if I'm wrong, which I'm probably wrong about the majority of them. I don't think I did well in Pick'em today. Actually, I can tell you guys what I did in Pick'em today, and I don't think it went well. Ready for this? I also didn't know that my flashlight was on. That's why my that's why my phone's dying. Okay. Sick. Okay, so let's see how I didn't pick them. All right, let's well, let's not look at fantasy because I'm getting decked. Oof. Got destroyed today. Why am I in the 100th percentile? What? No way. Oh, yeah, okay, 20.9. Yeah, 6 and 9 today. 6 and 9. This is like the worst opening day pick'em I've ever had. I got Tampa Bay. I got the Falcons wrong. I got the Bills wrong. I got the Vikings wrong. I got the 49ers right. The Titans wrong. The Colts wrong. The Chargers right. The Panthers right. The Jaguars wrong. Kansas City right. New England wrong. Green Bay wrong. Giants wrong. Rams right. And I will literally go 6 and 10 if the Ravens don't win tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that's the worst week of pick'em I've ever had. But hey, nowhere to go but up, right? So we'll see. I mean, it could be a lot worse, I guess. But wow. Yeah, I got my butt kicked. I mean, it really wasn't even close. Like, wow. Did I lose in every fantasy league? I think I lost in every fantasy league. I don't know why you guys even listen to me. This is brutal. Who's discrediting it, though? I need to know, Christian, if that is a relevant human or if it's just some dude at a local car wash. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, realistically, I need to know Like, you know, Nolan would say, if it's a crayon eater, I don't care. I know, some people. Rams were Jigsaw. I like that. Oh, sick. I got destroyed in this. Oh my god, this league I had Melvin Gordon on the bench with 20 points. Marquez Callaway had 1 catch for 14 yards. Oh, Lord. Not good. Oh, there's one win. Or I'm winning. I mean, hard to win when you're told that Quinn Nordin is the starting kicker for the Patriots, so you go pick him up, and then they're like, actually, we're just kidding. It's going to be Nick Folk. Pretty sure it was a crayon eater. That's so funny. God, that's hilarious. Good question, David. We do need some Rams emotes in the Discord. It's a good point. We need our own NFTs. Who's with me on that? Thanks, Noah. I'll see you soon. You be good. Take care. Bears were not going to win that game. They lost 34-14. Dear God. Oh man. I don't know. Fans are going to fan, right? Shout out to King Raz for the sub. Appreciate you. Shout out to Just Fits. Appreciate you for the sub. Man, it's getting fun. Appreciate all of the donations. I appreciate all the members. I have the hardest time calling it a night on a stream, if you guys haven't noticed, even though I'm tired. And it's hard to leave when you have 173 people. Actually, that's just YouTube. But still, you know, it's not easy to leave that, you know? Yeah, screw that. I'm not listening to that either. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you. I got all sorts of Rams stuff, so since you're a Rams fan, you'll definitely like it here for sure. We're growing in subs, man. That's it's like 30 in this stream alone. Bunch of subs today. Yeah, you know, yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it. Appreciate you, Sebastian. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you. I mean, I try. I just want to get the best content out to to the channel, you know, to the community. We're almost at 3,000 views for this live stream that I started under 2 hours ago, so that's a good sign. Also, if you guys like, you want to follow me further, you can find me on Twitter at JKBogan. It's my verified personal account. I tweet about the Rams, MCU, horror movies, you know, rock and metal music, you know. But I tweet a lot about the Rams there too, so if you're interested. Bobby Trees with it. That toe drag was nuts, okay? First off, I was worried he was going to hyperextend his leg. I really thought he was going to hyperextend his knee. Sorry, not his leg. His knee. I was not sure, but, you know. Oh, man. Just like that, crushed another sparkling iced caffeine. I had 3 of them today. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. And did, what is it? More than a third of the day with live streams. Goff must be plastic, man. How did he not break his knees in the first half? Goff doesn't make those 2 deep throws tonight because he doesn't even look for them. On those 2 plays, Goff would have taken the checkdowns early instead of giving his wide receiver time to get deep. That's true, although he did actually look earlier today, and he just didn't have the comfortability to let it rip, which, all right. Plastic man. That's good. Got a lot of people in here late at night. It's 1:02 on my side of the world. Giraffe to plastic mode. Jake, what do you say we need to improve on? The run game, but again, I think it's going to correct itself. Just learning the offense, getting Stafford, you know, in the rhythm of bootleg, you know, fixing his footwork a little bit. You know, that type of thing. Hey now, it's 1 week. Lil Waddy, it's only 1 week, my friend. Cup looked great tonight. Keep in mind, Robert Woods caught a touchdown. You know. What's up, Darksaber? Yeah, that was a fun game. That was a very fun game. What was up with Sony Michel? Only saw him once. He's still learning the playbook, you know. He's still learning the offense. They wanted to get him, you know, some touches if possible, and they found an opportunity to do so. Wow, CT Rams fan. I see how it is. He's new to our team. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that was my biggest issue with McVay, is that I don't think there was a balance, but I also think you got to give him a break. It was his first night getting a chance to use Stafford in front of the world. I think he had a lot of fun doing so, but I also don't think it is. I don't think it's the end. I mean, I think we're going to see even better as the season goes on. I mean, right now, you know, let's just be stupid, right? All right, let's just be stupid for a sec. Hear me out, okay? It's week 1, but we're going to be stupid here. So, if Stafford throws for 321 yards, which he did tonight, in all 17 games he plays, he would throw for 5,457 yards, which would be by far the most in Rams franchise history. Furthermore, if Stafford throws 3 touchdowns in 17 games, he would throw for exactly the same number of touchdowns I predicted him to throw, 51, this season in an MVP season. Funny enough, we could do this all day. Darrell Henderson, say he gets 70 in all 17 games. That would be 1,190 yards rushing. Let's try Cooper Kupp. So Cooper Kupp, 7 catches, 17 games, 119 catches on the season. We'll try Tyler Higbee, 5 catches, 17 games, 85 catches on the season. Let's give Higbee 68 in 17 games. He'd have over 1,156 yards on the season. All right. Let's, for the sake of this, let's just do Van Jefferson. If he had 80 yards a game, that's over 1,300 yards for the season. So, yeah. Interesting. By the way, I'd like to point out Fuller, Rapp, and Young both had double-digit tackles. Jalen Ramsey had 9, including 7 solo. Justin Hollins at 8. Darius Williams at 7. You rarely see the defensive backs being that involved, but it really shows you they just didn't play a ton of linebackers. Jake Funk had 2, including a solo tackle. Yeah. Do Woods' stat calculation? All right. By the way, the lack of Robert Woods usage cost me $400, but we won't get into it. He'd have 459 on the season if he had 27 a game. Yeah, the toe drag was just nuts. I do too. The deep throws were crazy. Right on point. By the way, the Rams held Allen Robinson to 6 catches for 35 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per reception. Darnell Mooney, 5 catches, 26 yards, 5.2 yards per reception. The guy that got the most of the Rams is a guy that's had success against them in the past. 4 catches, 45 yards, Marquise Goodwin, and 5 catches, 42 yards, Cole Kmet. They both have had good games against the Rams in the past. David Montgomery averaged, 6.8 yards per carry. Yeah. Okay, guys, let Jake get some sleep. He's exhausted, and he's been streaming all day. God, now I'm reading streaming is stressing. Maybe Maybe there's something there. I do want to thank everyone. It's been a fantastic first day. God, I can't even talk. It's been a fantastic opening night, whatever you want to call it. Couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys that were there through the whole off season to get to this point, that stuck by me, that hit subscribe and never unsubscribed, that have been in my streams, that have dropped super chats, that have supported the channel in ways that I just, honestly cannot even imagine. Really do appreciate you, all of you. It truly does mean a lot. I'm getting closer and closer, I think, to eventually making this a full-time job. I don't necessarily think I'm going to make it a full-time job this year, and maybe not even next year, but it's going to happen. And when it happens, life is going to be like Cloud 9, so to speak. That's my dream. I just want to be able to do this for a living. I can commit to this for a living. As you guys know, I did, third of the day I did streaming. I have no issue being on camera. I have no issue talking to people. I have no issue engaging with people, answering questions, all of that, So this is what I want to do, and I want to record videos and, just kind of want to educate as much as I can. That's pretty much my thought process. So I really appreciate you guys. Maybe you shouldn't stream the 12 o'clock games and just do a pregame and postgame show for the Rams. That's probably what I'm going to do because I didn't get a ton of views on those, whereas the Rams pregame, I didn't get a ton, but it still wasn't that bad, and we didn't go on for that long. It looks like we're about to hit 3,000 views on this one, so thank you, Darius. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. I'll be back soon tomorrow. I don't know. I might have a video out tomorrow. It's really murky right now because I'm going to Foo Fighters tomorrow. I leave a little bit later in the day, but I'm gone for the whole day, whole night or so. So, really with that, I don't know what that's going to go. But if I can get some videos out early in the night or early in the day or whatever, I'll do that. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. So you guys have a great night. Go watch a horror movie. Go watch one of my videos. Go listen to a podcast. Go sleep. Do something. And I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, I'm waiting on Game Pass. I need to get Game Pass, and then eventually, once Game Pass allows me to do all 22, I can do those videos. So, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Later.